Meet Anna. Like you, she is also an SPM leaver. And like you, Anna is also struggling with finding scholarships for her undergraduate studies. And it can be quite frustrating, because understanding scholarship itself is already hard. First things first, you have to understand the different types of scholarships offered in Malaysia. For instance, from government agencies itself, like MARA, JPA, and Bank Negara. The second one is from government-linked companies like Petronas, Maybank, and TNB. Just as a reminder, those two types of scholarships are the famous ones in Malaysia. Actually, there are hundreds of scholarships offered from different types of organizations across Malaysia. You have to know what type of qualities that these scholarships providers are looking for. The first one is academic talent, leadership skills, curriculum achievements like joining school sports team or uniform organization, community involvement like volunteering activities, and finally, passion. Building up for the last point, which is passion, it is crucial to know what you like to study, because you don't want to pursue in something you don't like, right? So, there are various of programs of studies being offered by these scholarships, ranging from engineering, finance, economics, law, computer science, chemistry, and statistics. For example, Petronas would love their students majoring in chemistry, petroleum, and mechanical engineering. As for Maybank, it makes sense when they prefer finance, actuarial science, and statistics students. Finally, for TNB, they focus more on getting students in electrical and electronic engineering. Just as a disclaimer, this doesn't mean that those companies do not offer other courses aside from the ones mentioned earlier. My advice is, make sure to check what program of study they offer before applying. My next advice is to start early. Make sure that you have your SPM exam results, academic transcripts, certificates, other documents of accomplishment ready. And most importantly, your resume and CV, because they can make a huge difference. Now, we will be moving on to the typical scholarship applying process, because most students have no idea how this takes place. Probably because of very little exposure to this kind of matter. Step number 1 is to apply for the scholarship itself, whether it is going to be online through portal or on paper. Things that are usually asked to be filled is of course your personal information, desired programs of study, academic transcripts, curricular achievements, and finally, an essay why you want to be granted these scholarships. Step number 2 is what I call the waiting game. Usually, you will get the result depending on the closing date. I would say, from experience, it will take the scholarship provider 3 to 5 weeks to get back to you, because I am sure they will have a thorough check before pursuing you with the application even further. Finally, if they get back to you, step number 3 is the interviews. Also talking for experience, most interviews are done first through the phone, then you will take an online assessment, and finally, if chosen, you will get your chance in having the face-to-face interview. In the face-to-face interviews itself, you will have to go through 3 kinds of interviews. The first one is individual interview, one-on-one with the interviewers themselves. Most common question that you will be asked is all about yourself actually. Then, the group interview, where you and your peers will be having a case study and present it in front of the interviewers. And finally, you will have to take an assessment test, testing on your English and mathematics skill, as well as aptitude test. My advice for these interviews is to get very well prepared for them. This is the perfect platform for you to show that you are a qualified candidate for their scholarship. And lastly, make sure to do your homework on interview tips. Now that you and Anna have gotten pretty much an overview on scholarships, make sure to share it with your peers who might need this video. Finally, I wish you all the best in your pursuit of getting a scholarship. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.